You've been grinding, day in and day out. You show up to that desk, open those spreadsheets, answer those emails, make those calls, take the heat from clients, investors, or your boss, and all while trying to keep your head above water. You're not just managing money, you're managing pressure, expectations, deadlines, and a constant fear of falling short. You know what it feels like to be stretched thin. You feel like you're giving everything you've got, and still, it's never enough. You look around and wonder, is this all there is? Let me tell you something, you are not alone. Burnout doesn't sneak up on you. It charges at you full speed, wearing a suit and tie and speaking in quarterly reports. It tells you that you have to work harder, faster, longer, or you'll fall behind. It convinces you that rest is for the weak, that success is earned through exhaustion, and that mental health is just another thing you can push aside until later. But here's the truth, later never comes. If you don't take care of yourself now, your mind, your body, your spirit, you won't be around long enough to see the finish line. And let me tell you, no bonus check, no corner office, no deal closed is worth your peace of mind. Now, I'm not here to give you some soft, motivational fluff about self, care, and mindfulness. Don't get me wrong. I believe in sleep, in boundaries, in knowing when to say no. But more than that, I believe in principles. Universal truths that don't change with the market or the economy or the latest leadership seminar. I believe in discipline, clarity, purpose, and courage. These aren't buzzwords, they're tools. Tools that will help you survive and thrive in high-pressure financial jobs without losing your soul along the way. Let's start with this. Burnout isn't just a personal issue, it's a professional one too. When people are stressed, exhausted, and mentally drained, they make bad decisions. In finance, that's dangerous because we're not talking about picking the wrong lunch or missing a meeting. We're talking about risk assessments, investment strategies, client relationships, compliance issues. One rushed decision, one overlooked detail, one emotional reaction can cost companies millions. That's why burnout isn't just hurting you. It's hurting the entire system, and yet, so many people ignore it. They power through, thinking that pushing harder is the solution, but pushing harder when you're already depleted doesn't lead to breakthroughs. It leads to breakdowns. That's not toughness, that's foolishness. The smartest people in this room know how to pace themselves. They know that true success isn't measured by how much you sacrifice, but by how well you manage your energy, your time, and your priorities. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but my job is different, let me stop you right there. Your job may be intense. It may come with deadlines that feel impossible, clients who demand perfection, and metrics that never seem to stay high enough. But I promise you this, every industry has its pressures. Every profession has its pitfalls. What separates those who thrive from those who crash and burn isn't luck, it's mindset. I want you to understand something deeply. Money is a tool, not a god. It's not the root of all evil, it's the root of opportunity, and how you handle that opportunity determines whether you build a life of freedom or a prison of stress. Money psychology matters. How you think about wealth, risk, reward, and responsibility shapes every move you make. And if you don't master your mind first, no amount of salary or stock options will ever bring you peace. You didn't get into this field because you wanted an easy life. You got into it because you wanted to win. You wanted to prove that you could make it. To yourself, to your family, to your mentors, maybe even to that voice inside your head that used to say you couldn't. Well, guess what? You already did. You made it farther than most. But making it isn't the end, it's the beginning. Now it's time to protect what you've built and grow it wisely. Entrepreneurship in America is alive and well. People are starting businesses left and right, building empires from scratch, creating value, solving problems, changing lives. And whether you're an entrepreneur or working for a company, the same principles apply. You need grit. You need vision, you need resilience, and you need to know when to step back before you burn out completely. The journey to your first million isn't about luck, it's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, making smart decisions, avoiding stupid risks, and taking calculated ones. It's about understanding that money doesn't grow on trees, but it does grow in minds that are clear, focused, and intentional. And let me tell you, if your mind is clouded by stress, anxiety, and burnout, you won't see opportunities when they knock. You'll miss them because you're too busy surviving to notice the door opening. So how do you avoid burnout? First, you recognize the signs. Are you constantly tired? Do you dread going to work? Have you become irritable, impatient, or withdrawn? Is your performance slipping? Are you making mistakes that you normally wouldn't? Those are not just normal parts of the job. They're red flags, and ignoring red flags is how careers derail. Second, you must establish boundaries. You can't pour from an empty cup. That means setting limits on your time, your energy, and your availability. It means learning to say no, even to things that sound important, because if you don't protect your time, someone else will use it for their agenda, not yours. Third, you must invest in yourself, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. Read books that challenge your thinking. Surround yourself with people who build you up, not tear you down. Find mentors who have walked the path and can guide you through the fog. Build habits that support your mental health, exercise, nutrition, sleep, prayer, meditation, whatever works for you. Discipline is the foundation of freedom. Fourth, you must align your work with your values. If you're in a job that goes against who you are and what you stand for, it will drain you. No paycheck is worth selling your soul. You have to ask yourself, am I doing work that matters? Does what I do each day contribute to something bigger than myself? If not, then it's time to pivot, because burnout often starts when you lose sight of your purpose. Fifth, you must embrace margin. Margin is the space between what you can handle and what you're actually carrying. Without margin, you live on the edge of collapse. With margin, you have breathing room, flexibility, and the ability to respond rather than react. That means not overcommitting, not overspending, not overworking. It means living below your means, both financially and emotionally. Sixth, you must understand that failure is part of the process. Not every deal will close. Not every investment will pay off. Not every client will love you. And that's okay. The key is to learn from the losses, adjust your strategy, and keep moving forward. Fear of failure is what keeps people stuck and dead, end jobs, afraid to take risks, afraid to dream bigger. But real growth happens outside your comfort zone. Seventh, you must build a team. You weren't meant to do this alone, whether it's a spouse, a mentor, a coach, or a therapist. Get help, talk to someone. Share your struggles, ask for advice. The best leaders don't pretend to have all the answers. They surround themselves with people who do. Eighth, you must practice gratitude. Burnout often creeps in when we focus too much on what we don't have and not enough on what we do. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you that you're not starting from zero. You're building on everything you've already achieved. So take time to acknowledge your wins, no matter how small. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Ninth, you must remember that money doesn't define your worth. Your value isn't tied to your net worth. You are valuable simply because you exist. You have gifts, talents, and experiences that no one else brings to the table. Never forget that. Success should never cost your integrity, your joy, or your health. 10th, you must take action. Knowledge without action is useless. Motivation fades, but discipline lasts. So today, right now, commit to one thing you can do differently to protect your mental health. Maybe it's setting a hard stop at 6 p.m. Maybe it's scheduling a therapy appointment. Maybe it's saying no to one more project. Whatever it is, do it. Now, I want to talk to the young people in this room. If you're just starting out in your career, listen closely. You have a choice. You can follow the crowd and chase titles, salaries, and prestige, or you can build a life that reflects your values, your vision, and your purpose. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that burning out is the price of success. It's not. It's the price of mismanagement. Your 20s and 30s are not the time to hustle blindly. They're the time to build strong foundations. Learn how to budget, save, invest, and live within your means. Understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Master your emotions around money so that you don't repeat the mistakes of previous generations. You have the chance to break cycles and create generational wealth, but you can't do that if you're burned out by 35. If you're dreaming of entrepreneurship, don't wait for perfect conditions. Start now. Start small, but start smart. Focus on solving problems, not chasing trends. Build relationships, not just resumes. Create value before you seek profit. And most importantly, take care of yourself along the way. The business world needs entrepreneurs who are mentally healthy, emotionally grounded, and ethically driven. And to those of you who are already successful, don't let burnout steal your legacy. You've worked too hard to throw it away now. Step back, reassess, reinvest in yourself, mentor others, give back. True success isn't just about climbing the ladder, it's about lifting others as you rise. No one remembers the person who died with the biggest bank account. They remember the person who lived with integrity, who loved well, who gave generously, and who stood firm in their values. That's the kind of success I want for you. That's the kind of success that lasts. So here's your call to action. Today, you decide to take control of your mental health. You set boundaries, you prioritize rest, you speak up when you're struggling, you build habits that support your well-being. You walk away from anything that drains your joy. You invest in your future, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. And most of all, you remember that you are more than your job title, more than your salary, more than your portfolio. You are capable, you are resilient, you are powerful beyond measure, and you were born to do great things. Don't let burnout steal your shot. Rise above it. Take back your life. Protect your mind. Own your future. Because when you take care of yourself, you're not just helping yourself. You are helping everyone around you, your family, your coworkers, your clients, your community. You're becoming the leader, the parent, the friend, the human being you were meant to be. So take a deep breath. You've got this. You're not alone, and you're stronger than you think. Now go out there and change the game.